لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي وبعد. We were looking at the connections of the divine attributes. We said the divine attributes, the existing divine attributes, connect in different ways in terms of what they connect onto. It does so in different ways, and that which it connects onto is different. So there's 4 different categories. The first one we spoke about, the attribute of life, does not connect directly onto anything, does not have a direct impact upon anything. Then we said knowledge and speech connects to all intellectual categories of judgments. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows all things that are wajib, all things that are what's wajib, that He subhanahu wa ta'ala exists. He knows that. What's possible, your creation, your non-creation, that He supports you, that He provides for you, that He'll bring you out of existence, He calls you to die at a certain time. Everything is the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that's in the realm of possibility. And likewise impossible, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that He doesn't have partners with Him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that He does not exist, and so on. They're all in the realm of possibility. Knowledge, we said, how to connect by encompassing all of these matters. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has complete awareness of all of these matters. We spoke about that last time. Speech connects by indicating God's orders, prohibitions and revelation. And see, the Kalamullahi Ta'ala. And what did we say that was? We say they're ma'ani. These are meanings that exist, reside within divine essence, that are represented in the human sphere, in the created sphere by Quran, for example, as part of it. But we say Quran is not Kalamullah Ta'ala, it's a representation of the meanings that are contained within the divine essence, which are beyond the Quran. Quran is just one aspect of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about. He has meanings that internally within He speaks of, which are way beyond the Quran. So Quran, remember that, is one aspect of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about, and He subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals into the created realm as what we have is a manifestation or representation of the eternal meanings that reside within the divine essence. What does speech connect to? It says speech by definition, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders, He prohibits, and He informs, He orders, He prohibits. He orders you to pray, He prohibits you from drinking alcohol, He informs that He created Adam alayhi salam, He informs that there's a heaven and that there's a hell. All of these things are contained within the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about matters that are necessary, possible and impossible. Necessary, He tells you that He exists. Possible, He tells you about your creation, He tells you about creation of the heavens and the earth and all matters. He tells you about matters that are impossible, that He says that there's no God, no God along with Him. There's no partners with Him. That's in the realm of impossibility. Now the important one, which confuses a lot of people, and this is the one that needs a discussion on, the attributes of will and power, irada and qudra. Can somebody put their hand up, please, and define for us what is will? And if nobody puts their hand up, somebody will be volunteered to put their hand up. Somebody has to put up their hand, define what is will, without looking back. It's in the notes there, but without looking back. What do we mean by the attribute of divine will? You got your hand up there? No? Okay. Zayn, did you move? No? Divine will? What's it mean when He says He wills all matters? Kasha? No? Okay, somebody else? Who's awake in that class? No one. Okay, somebody want to read it out then? Divine will. Over at the end? Okay. What's divine will? Divine will, said, is an attribute, an eternal attribute that resides in the divine essence, right? Which does what? All attributes, all existing attributes are eternal, divine, and reside in divine essence. What's unique or what's different about the attribute of will? Anybody want to read it out to the sheet? Nobody? Nobody brave enough? طيب تخصص بعض الممكنات by which he specifies or he chooses some of that which is possible, something that's possible. That's the attribute of divine will. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he selects or he chooses something that's possible. So like for example, through his will, he decided, he chose that he can create you at a certain point. That's in the realm of possibility. He could have created you at a different time, he could have created you in a different manner, different form, different size and so on. But he selected out of many possibilities, selected one. That's what irada of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, that's what divine will is. It's an attribute, an eternal attribute that resides in divine essence, by which he specifies, he chooses something that's in the realm of possibility. What's divine power? There's only one difference in it. Go on. You best learn these definitions because you've got a test coming soon. Otherwise at the end we'll say that none of you sound belief. All the evenings in there. Anybody? Go on, read it out.
He creates or eliminates what he wills
Creates or eliminates?
He creates or eliminates what he wills from all possible matters.
From all possible matters. In accordance with the divine will. In accordance with divine will. He wills something. He wills to create you at a certain point. His attribute of power manifests that. His attribute of power brings that into existence. He wills to cause you to die at a certain point. His attribute of power manifests that. It's the attribute of power that causes it to happen. So they work side by side, the both attributes. The question that's often posed, historically it's been posed and it's still posed now by atheists now, and by some confused believers. If God is all powerful, then can he not do everything, which includes take himself out of his existence? Can he not create a rock large enough such that he can't carry it? Can he not pass through an eye of a needle without increasing size of the needle, without decreasing size? Can he not appear in human form? Why is the Trinity impossible? Why can't God, if he's all powerful, why can't God appear as a human being? Why can't he appear as bacteria? Why can't he do that if he's all powerful? This point answers that question. Or any questions of that nature, say we have a principle that answers that. You can throw all different questions. The principle, when we read the ayah of the Quran, وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٍ, his power over all matters, كُلِّ شَيْء, all matters. When you say kul in Arabic, it doesn't need to literally mean everything. It doesn't need to mean that. Now you have a famous hadith which is misunderstood. كُلُّ بِدْعَةٍ ضَلَالَةٍ, every innovation is astray. It does not mean every single type of innovation. Why? Because we have innovations that appeared in the time of Sahaba. Like the Sayyidina Abu Bakr, Jama' al-Quran, Jama' al-Mus'haf, he gathered together the Quran. And when Sayyidina Umar came and suggested it to him, he said, how can we do something that the Messenger never did? And when Abu Bakr and Umar went to Zayd ibn Thabit and told him, compile the Quran, he said, how can I do something the Messenger never did? It wasn't compiled in one book. But then what did they say to Sayyidina Zayd ibn Thabit? Wallahi innahu la khayr. He said, by God, it is good. Which is what? It's a bid'ah hasana, it is khayr within it. It's a good practice. Why? Because he brought together the Quran in one book, whereas it was scattered and disparate in different parts. People need it in one book. It needs to be preserved. You have many practices that were introduced after the Messenger which were deemed to be good because they conform to the principles of Sharia. So here when we say كُلُّ بِدْعَةٍ ضَلَالَةٍ, and many of the ulama will say كُلُّ here is لَيْسَ عَلَى الْإِطْلَاق. It's not in an absolute sense. There are exceptions. There are exceptions to that. You can then argue, did not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, الْيَوْمَ أَكْمَلْتُ لَكُمْ دِينَكُمْ, today I have completed your religion, وَأَتْمَمْتُ عَلَيْكُمْ نِعْمَتِي, and I have perfected my favour to you. How can you then introduce something after the Prophet? The Sahaba did it. And they knew the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala better than you and I. And the Prophet said, عَلَيْكُمْ بِسُنَّتِ وَسُنَّةِ الْخُلَفَاءِ الرَّاشِدِينَ الْمَهْدِيِّينَ مِنْ بَعْدِي. He said, follow my sunnah and the sunnah of the rightly guided caliphs after me. If they did it, you can't. And I've heard people saying, second adhan of Jum'ah is not from the Sunnah because Sayyidina Uthman introduced it. Say, A'udhu Billah, if you saying such a matter. This is the Nurayn. This is the one that the Prophet gave two of his daughters to. And he's the only human being who's married two daughters of a Prophet. For him not to understand revelation, not to understand the way of the Prophet, and you understand it, mustahil, it's impossible. To say Umar made a mistake by introducing 20 rak'at tarawih, and you understand, and Umar didn't, when his tongue preceded revelation on more than 20 occasions, mustahil, it's impossible. He's got direct access to the household of Messenger. He didn't know what the Prophet was praying. That's why Abu Yusuf asked Abu Hanifa, how is it that Umar introduced 20 rak'at tarawih? His answer is Aqida, pure Aqida. He said, Lam yakun Umar mubtadi'an. He said, Umar was not an innovator. Umar knew the Sunnah of the Prophet. So when he does 20, he knows what he's doing. He's not just making up something. So when you see our Sahaba doing it, working on principles of Islam, they're working on principles. They're not contradicting the Sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.